just a couple of grinders trying to find our way out and put this darkness behind us. And underground is my oration, sound integration. But situation is we're surrounded by light negation. It's black as pitch cause we're trapped by our violent souls. In a deep mind where deep rhymes won't keep my self-control. Too many foes, we feel snake bit and we won't take it. Enemies need their face hit, we going ape shit.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind.
Shoot through these tunnels and keep it moving, no knuckle dragging. It's like a jungle, etc. Keep zigging and zagging. These lizards ready to fire in military attire. Heaters, cannons, entire arsenals, bangers for hire. We only got double barrels, but we don't monkey with them. Just throw shots and we hit them to this industrial rhythm. Still searching for the light, still more to fight. Still at war with our plight, but still we're sure of our own collective might.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind. Hell is my confinement within this mind. No way out, we're running out of time.
Time to get fractious, we practice guerrilla tactics. Regular G's can't match this, so I ain't trying to attack us. I'm a bad boy like Diddy, but I ain't talking Sean John, cause it's on like Son of Kong. Gots to get our chimp on, that means we simply simulate simians simultaneously. And all y'all snakes beastin' to kill us is living dangerously. Straight bananas is the conflict these opponents hand us. So battle status, in these catacombs we got no manners.
All I know is pain to give the same. All I have ingrained is pain. Misery of shame forever will remain. So I must regain my faith.
Threats come relentless in this zoo. No one defends us, and they won't commend us when we're through. It don't matter, cause I'm after something resembling peace. I get madder every other day that this shit don't cease. Since our conception, downward has been my life's direction. Had no protection from evil factions and predilections. Heart of a killer for gorilla, pillar of coffin fillers. Nothing vanilla about us, true thriller, minute gorillas. Our main position, this mission, is to improve conditions. And it's our own volition, we ain't looking for permission. Vanish from our position like we're magicians. In addition, our plan to see freedom's light comes to fruition.
Hell is my confinement within this mind. Now trapped and enshrined by my own mind. Hell is my confinement within this mind. No way out, we're running out of time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's me, Dukect. How are you feeling? And I hope you're feeling good in this lovely evening. So let's continue on this road of WrestleMania. And wow, a lot of it is, for the most part, not looking too good. And the reason why I think the problem of WrestleMania right now is lack of direction and honestly, WrestleMania has been lacking direction for a very long time. For a while, WWE has been, the road to WrestleMania has been really bumpy. You have Jey Uso. Honestly, Jey should have beaten. I honestly think Gunther's reign has been really terrible, and he shouldn't be in there. And also, the main issue here we look at right now in cage seats, and this is something from Frightful as well. This is like WWE women have been frustrated, and this is just continuing on from from a couple of months ago, back in October. Let me see if I can get here right here, if I can bring that up, because this is not a new situation here. This is way back to way back from 2000 and the last year of October 8th. And let me see if I can get the article, because let's see, where can I see if I can find it? If I can find it, because I remember it was you know I think it's one of the most was a continuation of since last year of not having of I think this has happened October, and if I can, because remember this was back in October. If I can see if I can get the articles of it, because I remember seeing this of this October stuff, because this was not new. They're frustrated at you know of just not actually doing anything for the past, you know they're not really happy. It's just let's see if I can get anything out of it. But I think this is the only here it is, WrestleZone. Here we are. Here it is. Um this is something right here. It says a report from um Son Ross Sapp, Frightful, reports there was some frustration internally with the booking of the women's match, the perceived lack of direction for those involved, and a commercial taking up most of the match. And the tag match was Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega, Natalia, Katana Chance, and Kaden Carter, the Pure Fusion Collective and Unholy Union. And here's the real thing. By the way, that let me see. One of those members, Sonya Deville, and I believe one of the Unholy Union. Let me see if I can. The Unholy Union. I believe. I think Isla Dawn is. Let's see. She. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Isla Dawn is released. Isla Dawn is released from the company. So you have two members of that team not even being here anymore. So what does that tell you about the direction of WWE? Then when they had no real direction, and it continued on from that point, and now you look at what's happening right now, a consistent thing. What are they doing? Get rid of this thing here. What is WWE doing to really do something about the direction and how you fix this? What are they doing to really put themselves in positions of, okay, let's see if we can fix this problem? Because right now, I don't see a real way of fixing the problem of WWE doing this. Uh, putting themselves in this position, and my fear is that this is just going to get more and more. There's like, they're just going to dump in the NXT Evolve, which this um you know, here's the real sad part is that you see that they haven't been, there's nothing really there for they feel like there's nothing really there, just mixed tags and this that. This is supposed to be a combination of everyone's story, and I see a lot of matches on that card that's not really doing. I mean, the only one that has a decent, at least somewhat decent story that people engage is Gunther and Jey Uso, a story that has been going on for way too long. You have Cody going to do something. Roman's not doing anything. CM Punk might do something, and maybe Drew might be involved. I mean, Seth Rollins might be involved. Um, John Cena's gonna face Cody. We don't know, and it's just that the men's are just a little bit of confusing. The women are just like Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. That's it. Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton. That's it. It's just that, and even worse, you have Sean Sapp said they're frustrated by this, including rejected creative ideas WrestleMania. He's like, yes, I've spoken with plenty of women in WWE who are frustrated about the booking of the women. This is not a new thing. It's nowhere near Royal Rumble 2022 level. Royal Rumble 2022 was so bad that I developed sources because how bad it was booked. This is nowhere near that. But there is a situation where a women's WWE performer has reached out to me and said, dude, can you find out if I'm listed eternally as a heel or a babyface? They don't know who they are. They don't know their characters. Like, who are they? What are they supposed to do? I understand the wrestlers have like to have proactiveness, but if the people, and this is why right here, there have been pitches for WrestleMania pitches, like, hey, I got the idea to doing everything else, but they're rejected, like token tag matches, like bland tag matches that they don't want to do, which is true. They shouldn't do some like, oh, it's an all like back in the day, you have a big divas match, and like again, like in October, 10-woman tag, all-star woman tag match, and they're not going to do much. It's just, eh. That's the main issue. That is the main problem. They don't have anything real. They don't have anything tangible. When's the last time you saw something tangible for a women's locker room? We have when's the last time you see something really tangible for the women in the WWE? There hasn't been. There hasn't there hasn't been anything tangible. And man, um, you know, and that's one thing I really hate is that they haven't done much for them. Is that you want to be equal? You want to say what about even playing for the women's division? You want to do something big for the ladies, but yet you're just like, oh, best we can do is maybe one or maybe two matches. That's it. Maybe a tag match or something. Meanwhile, there's a ton of guys who are not really getting any story. Will get like they'll give you a match at Mania. You know? Then it says that, and this is one thing here. They want things to be on more of even plane in the women's division. They want, okay, well, the contracts are going up. The viewership is just according to when the women on screen. It's not a size show or anything else. It's a part of the show. You're adding more titles or add more matches and stuff. According to Sean Sapp, according to him saying, but there's not that element of where a lot of men are not going to have one thing going on. They got a lot of different things going on, and that's just not the way it's been for the women. And I don't know if that's a Triple H thing or what. And that's the problem. They don't have anything to do. Um, the women's like the Intercontinental Champion, the U.S. Champion, just lost their matches. You'd think that would lead to championship matches, but no, they got nothing. Elimination Chamber is just like they got this huge thing. These are new. In fact, I wouldn't even put them in qualifying matches. Yeah, they are championships. In fact, they're defending the belt. I'm like, you know what? Y'all two are defending the championships. You're gonna be defending the title at these shows. You're gonna be defending the belts. You're gonna be fighting new competitors week in, week out. We're gonna do new championships. And how about this? Mention gets the last shot. That's it. If Mention loses or something, she can never get a U.S. Championship match again as Chelsea Green's champion. There you go. There's a story there. You can build up that story. You can have her work out and train and do everything else to get that opportunity, or have her be like, I will be your like whatever. Do any type of match there to really build up that type of thing. Same like here, have her face Ivy Nile at the stuff. Why are you doing? What are you doing for these women who are now your new women's? This is your mid card champions. They just crowned your champions, and what? Nothing. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And that's my the fear I have. And the fear is of, you know, trying to figure this stuff out, and of like fear of just like the women are getting more and more forgotten. The women are becoming more and more um trying to see what they're going to do, because again, they are, and they said there's not going to be any walkouts like what happened in 2022 when Vince McMahon's running things, but it does stand out when the things are done at NXT. And this is, again, it's funny. It's the way, time doesn't, history doesn't repeat, but it sure does love to rhyme, doesn't it? I mean, when people look at this NXT, whenever in this early stages, not the game show NXT, Black and Gold, you had women, and the men and women actually feel like they were in these like more equal footing, and was a lot better booked, not just better booked, but also felt like more of a, kind of what NXT now. The characters have something to do. Even the ones who are like, okay, new ones or something that they're selling to a groove, they're doing some new things, they're actually having characters and building them up. And then when they get to the main roster, nothing. This is what happens, though. I don't know what it is. Is it management? Is it the people behind the stuff? Is it what is Hunter's? Maybe he's like trying to manage too much egos. I mean, it's easy to manage egos and such in NXT, who are just like, okay, you can manage NXT stuff and do it. Fine. Maybe it's just he has to do all this other stuff. So yeah, and I think that is, I think this is what is going to be much ado about nothing. No one's going to walk out, and if they do walk out, I mean, it's not good on AEW side, or maybe they can get a shot at the knockouts division, but it just doesn't really. It's just it's not really solving the issue. It's not really solving the problem, and that's the real problem, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the issue. And until we have fixed this problem, you know, you know, until we actually fix the issue of um of actually starting to do really to build up these new stars, to build up stars, to build up actually doing something to that, to actually do the stars, to make them feel important. If you don't do that, what's the point? What's the point of building this stuff up? What's the point of actually making these characters important? Because if you don't, well, let's just say eventually it will fade away. Eventually these characters will not be around. Eventually there are people who are just like, why would I cheer or boo them? You understand what I'm saying? You understand, ladies and gentlemen? You need to find something connected. They want to connect with the audience. These guys, the guys and gals want to connect, and most of the ladies want to connect with the audience. NXT does it. How Ring of Honor seems to do it. TNA seems to do it. They let the ladies have time and everything else. I don't know what type of producers or anything else that are stopping it. And if they can't, I don't know if they can't do it. Is it a booking problem, or is it just a corporate type of thing? Like you can do it for the NXT, but when you get to the main roster, you got massage egos, and meanwhile you got Dwayne Johnson, final boss, showing up after he gets a big movie thing with you know if Martin Scorsese, so he's gonna show up on Friday. So that takes more time away for the ladies. That's great. Less time for the ladies, less time for them. So at what point do you how do you actually start building up more talent? How do you build up more talent and everything else? How do you build more talent? You have to you're anchored to the past. You're anchored to the past, and you have no real building towards new stars. That is the real issue. And until that changes, in my opinion, until that changes, you're going to be seeing these stories more often than not, more out there, and people not doing anything else. But that's just my personal opinion. I want to hear what you think, and let yourself in the comment section below. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for listening, by the way. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. And then we get to some other fun stuff, because there's a lot more fun stuff tonight. Let's get into some video games here, because Lord knows who doesn't love a little video game. Who doesn't love video games? Who doesn't love video games? And I'm going to talk about the NES. What's going on with the NES and everything else. All this going on, because there's been some issues with limited run games and NES carts, and I will talk about them around this lovely little break. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Click like and subscribe to all this type of stuff. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect T. We'll be right back right after this. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and well, talk about something that's actually been a time bomb. It's something that's not a good thing. Well, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Here's an interesting little story here. Limited Runs confirms time bomb issue of NES cartridges damaging consoles. Blames it on new supplier. Let's see. Limited Run report. This is from Eurogamer, and this is from the published by Ed Nightingale, W News editor. Published yesterday. Limited Run Games have responded to a report that accused it of selling NES cartridges that damage consoles. In a statement, the company confirmed that reports of damage were accurate and blamed the issue on a change in supplier. And it's now offering refunds and remanufactured games. Yesterday, Time Extension reported copies of Rugrats Adventures in Gameland and Pio Pow could damage players' consoles due to a mismatch in voltage between the cartridge and the original hardware. One user speaking of Time Extension described the cartridge as a tiny time bomb for my electronics. Upon learning about this issue from our community, we immediately began investigating and confirmed that due to an issue of voltage regulation, there's a small chance that prolonged use of these titles could result in damage to either cartridge or the cartridge hardware. A Limited Run game spokesman said in the statement shared with Eurogamer reads. We have identified that these titles were not manufactured by our regular partner, who we have worked with across 30 plus titles, and we trust implicitly thanks to their impeccable manufacturing track record. The manufacturer who produced Rugrats and Pio has only worked on a very small handful of titles for Limited Run games. And right now we're going through our back catalog of NES titles manufactured by this supplier and testing for possible issues. While we conduct further testing, our immediate pledge is to rectify this potential issue with Rugrats and Pio Pow, ensure this will not happen again. Wow. So, you know what? This is a good thing. I mean, they actually took some, like, saying, hey, they're going to not only they found the issue and actually are giving back. In fact, let me just see this here. They're actually not only they're finding the issue, but they're saying they want to get a refund. They actually here's a refund, and they are going to the games are no longer available for purpose. While promise to fill back orders, there will be remanufactured via the company's trusted manufacturing partner. So they will actually give a new copy, and they actually fill. I mean, this is a good thing. I like seeing companies take responsibility. I like that. I like the fact this a company that does this because very rarely you see a big mainstream company just like you know say, well, they're like they have to be forced and pressured to even do at least 1/10 of the right thing. Limited Run Games are looking to say, hey, you know what? We made a mistake. They apologize for it, and they're handing out games saying, you know what, we made a mistake here. Here's not only a refund, but also don't play it. We'll give you a brand new copy of this set game and title. So I am very happy with this, and I wish more I wish more developers had that type of you know humility and grace, because I think that most people would like that. Most people would like to see that of more from not just games, but also not just games, but also maybe other avenues of entertainment and such, like hey, hardware manufacturers or video game stuff where if something goes wrong, they will pay you and say, hey, know that we will repair your stuff, but also give you a chance to actually say, hey, it's really cool too. Just like, you know what, we'll not only refund you, but here's like a new, if you want a new copy, just wait to us. This thing is going to repair it, and we will repair it and give it to you. Don't keep this thing as don't keep this time bomb. So yeah, I think that in the end of the day will be a very positive thing for everyone, and I think that should be something applauded. And I wish that more companies and more companies did this. More of stuff here. Oh gosh, you know, all this other stuff. But yeah, it's a shame. A lot of people have that, but the limited run stuff. A lot of comments saying that. And I get that is issues of comments and everything. Well, the United States just scored a goal in the nation's four nation face off and now leading. And sadly, I feel bad for all the people who are Canada there who are just gonna be really mad. You know, I see a lot of people upset about that. So, oh, boys and girls, it's gonna be if Canada loses this game, it's gonna be a very sad time. But yeah, but back to the point, I do like the fact that limited run games are taking responsibility of this, and hopefully they will not continue. I hope they will continue to try to, do this right because there's a retro market out there. I mean, the oldest console I own right now is my N64, I believe. I think that's the oldest one I have, and it still works, and I'm happy with it. In fact, I might do a little bit of streaming if I ever get the chance to. Gosh, streaming on my N64. Now that's something we all, people are like, what are you doing with your life? I know. Streaming on my N64, that's just like, amazing. Because I do have the games to do it. So yeah, maybe if I could, I'd probably do a stream on like maybe a No Mercy type stream. But yeah, but back to the point, there's still retro consoles. There's still people who love playing retro consoles. There are people who love playing not just retro, but like NES, somebody else. I mean, Sega Saturn games. There's some good stuff there. Sega Saturn games, Dreamcast games. I mean, PS2 is basically retro at this point. I mean, the place. I know some people my age can't believe that that's retro, but that's time, man. Time is always moving forward. So you have, there are people who say that the Xbox 360 is retro. So that's going to be a Xbox 360 is retro now. So these are going to be the retro stuff and the NES and everything, and it's still fun to play. If you find, I went to MagFest this year, and every time, I love playing on the old consoles. I love playing them. It's fun. It's really it's fun to play on the consoles. It's fun to sit and actually be on the consoles and everything else. It's fun to play on the NES, Super NES, or stuff like that. The SNES, it sits there, relax. Sometimes it's nice to do that once in a while, and I think that's people seem to forget that about how these games are. But yeah, I hope. But back to the story. I'm happy that this worked out. That is they are at least taking responsibility of the issue. I'm happy that they are doing that. I know people have issues with the limited run games. They haven't. They have issues with it, and I think they should be, like I said, held them accountable. And hopefully, they'll learn the lesson and say we need to get better manufacturers, better people to do this. And that should be their goal, to improve and be better. And that's something I think most people will agree to. And that's something that they should all, we should all do personally. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for listening to the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening. And I am happy for all of y'all to keep watching and liking and all that good stuff. Anyway, this Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.